I guess an old Nindroid like me is no match against the newer models. Zane to Pixel. Hello, I'm Sensei the Dark Master, and welcome back to the lore of Ninjago. In today's video, we shall be covering those ravenous robots, the Nindroids, specifically the Nindroid army led by the digitized overlord. We shall cover their history, structure, weaponry, vehicles, and individuals. But first, a clarification. The terms Nindroid and Android are both used in the television series. However, Nindroid is mostly used for the villainous fraction as well as Zane. In essence, to make it very easy to understand, all Nindroids are androids, but not all androids are Nindroids. For example, Pixel, Mr. E, and the Robot Manager are all androids, but are not technically Nindroids. For the rest of this video, understand that when I say Nindroids, I mean the villainous fraction, except when I state otherwise. Now, let's start their history. The first Nindroid created that is known about was Zane, built by Dr. Julian in his hidden workshop. On his deathbed, he turned off Zane's memory switch, only for Zane to learn the truth later on and achieve his true potential. From Zane's blueprints, Cyrus Borg and Pixel, both controlled by the digital overlord, built the Nindroid army. They improved and had their emotions removed to become a brand new army for the evil overlord. They served loyally until the overlord's demise by ironically Zane, whose icy explosive sacrifice made most of the Nindroids die. However, there were still quite a few that survived, and they were hardwired to serve the overlord. Some were imprisoned in Cryptarian prison. Others were reprogrammed for good by individuals such as Ed, Edna, and Cyrus Borg, though the results were often mixed. Others were held in the Museum of Ninjago and in the vault located below Borg Tower, possibly for historical reasons. One specific group was reprogrammed into the role of guard. These were the White Nindroid Forces, and they served as security guards for various important locations for Cyrus Borg. In terms of structure, the Nindroids are much more standardized than other forces, with only two major classes, a leading general and a unique individual. The two classes being the Nindroid Warrior and the Nindroid Drone. Let's start there. The basic foot soldier of the Nindroid army were the Nindroid Drones. Nindroid Drones lack the stereotypical ninja hood wrap, but are otherwise stronger, faster, and more agile than Zane. They also have the ability to cloak themselves into invisibility. Unlike Zane, though, they are completely cold and focused on their mission. Ironically, we don't really see these drones in the animated series, outside of a small cameo in a picture on the table when the ninja are discussing what Project Arcturus is. Slightly above the drones are the Nindroid Warriors, which are identical to the drone except for having an augmented ninja wrap with an eyepiece capable of shooting lasers. They are far more common than the drone and are in fact in nearly all episodes of Rebooted. Nindroid was an individual Nindroid warrior that was accidentally made shorter due to the machine running out of materials to build them. This disability gave him a unique personality and was easily agitated if someone made fun of his height, and was one of the very few to actually have the ability to stand up to the general, albeit it wasn't very effective due to his short stature. He was also one of the greatest of the Nindroids when it came to fighting the ninja. For odd reasons that are unknown, he rarely spoke English, using beeps and boops in the fashion of R2-D2 from Star Wars. The leader of the Nindroids was General Cryptor, a pun on the computer virus Gen Cryptor. He resembled the standard Nindroid warrior, but had a much bulkier armor with curved black paladins on his shoulder and switched arms. He also had the ability to shoot a laser out of his chest in addition to his eyepiece. His program is much more advanced than that of the Nindroids, with more emotions and a quicker anger. He also talks all the time compared to how the other Nindroids are largely silent. He often berates his foes and troops, which of course just silently accept it. Despite his unique personality, he can be easily bested due to his overconfidence, and he's also blindly loyal to the Overlord. The Nindroids utilized a wide variety of vehicles. These include an unnamed Nindroid jet fighter with a detachable glider that still leaves behind a functional jet. There is a double-barreled laser cannon manned by a single warrior, and an all-terrain tank bike used most often by Cyrus Borg, but also by the Nindroids on occasion. More substantial were the Hover Hunters, a hover tank with 2 missile cannons and a spinning saw blade, as well as a surveillance tank. More imposing were the various mechs used. These ranged from the comparatively small and skimpy security mechs that were directly controlled by the digital overlord and could absorb golden power, though they were relatively inefficient for bigger foes. One of these bigger mechs was the Ninjoid mech dragon, based on the Overlord's previous dragon form. This metallic dragon had missile launchers and saw blades. Initially deactivated by the Ninja destroying the wind farm's power station, it was later used by the Overlord himself as his third vessel, after having used Cyrus Borg and a random Nindroid. Later, it would plummet into the ocean until the Nindroids retrieved it to get the Overlord's new body. Its fate afterwards is unknown, but is presumed to have been abandoned. Another mech was the huge Destructoid, the personal mech for General Cryptor. It was a mech with treads and a humanoid torso-like cockpit. It had a wide array of weapons, such as a hand with a huge silver slicing sword, a massive spinning saw blade, disc shooters, and 2 chopping blades that moved up and down when it was moving. Perhaps the most powerful of all the vehicles was the ultimate weapon, also known as the Golden Master's Mech. Created from the remains of the golden weapons, it granted the Overlord near omnipotence. Despite this, in the end, it was Zane who had originally laid the foundations to the creation of the Nindroids that led to his utter destruction. Following an icy explosive sacrifice, Zane was able to take out not only the mech, but the Overlord himself, and even destroyed a vast majority of the Nindroid army, though of course some survived, as I've stated earlier. For weaponry, most used buzzsaws or jagged blades, but they also utilized bazookas, stud shooting guns, and katanas. Nindroid used a special staff that I can't really accurately describe, and I just got to show a picture here, as I don't quite know what kind of weapon to describe it as. Perhaps it's some sort of trident, but I don't know, it doesn't really fit that. So what can we learn from the Nindroid army? We learn the dangers of arrogance and overconfidence in one's supposed superiority, and not to put total faith in technology. I am Sensei the Dark Master, and join me next time when we once again enter the dojo of the Lore of Ninjago. Have a nice day.